Good morning. This is the 8th day New Zealand in lockdown. The actual world is
more people have died through COVID-19 than died in the 9/11 atrocities.
So we'll just start here and have a listen to Dr. Campbell.
Welcome back. Still the 1st of April 2020.
We're the
Wednesday.
We're the 2nd of April here in New Zealand. 24 hours difference.
Now, starting off with news from the United States this morning. Great increase in the number of confirmed cases. Now, this is for two reasons. Firstly, there is a great increase in the number of cases in the United States. And secondly, that more testing is being done. So that's encouraging. The death toll now, it's poignant to note that there's more people have died through COVID-19 than died in the 9/11 atrocities.
Just on Vietnam War, 10 years and there's about 59,000 people died. So every year on average it was about 5,000. So once we get another 1,000 people, we're starting to get into the territory of the Vietnam War. But then, with what you're about to hear, it sounds like we're going to have 4 times that within 1 year. So it's really focusing the American...
Dr. Fauci has said that deaths could be getting on for 250,000, up to 240,000 deaths, which is a very sobering number. But he also said that without the interventions, it could top 2 million deaths.
And that's the other interesting thing, because a prediction that I did was 7 million deaths at a 2% rate. So when he talks about without interventions, I mean, there's a lot of interventions that naturally will come from human ingenuity. But as I said, the head of this could have been 7 million, and then could even be more than that, because that's just 7 million of the population based on the Italian and the Spanish models.
So the interventions are making a huge difference in the number of people in the United States that will potentially die from this. So these interventions that are expensive and difficult are saving 1 3/4, 2 million people's lives. Death will go up in the United States, there's no question about that. But the mitigation is working, reducing the number from over 2 million to hopefully well under 250,000.
You can see how sober, if you like, that John Campbell has come, because he actually realised the next 2 weeks in the world, and he also recognises that there's 200 countries all following cabs on the rank where America's going at the moment. So this is why you can see the man is deep reflection.
The difference is life and death. So these strategies are going to work. First of all, we'll see a reduction in the number of new cases, then we'll see a reduction in hospital admissions, and then we'll see a reduction in the number of deaths.
Same in New Zealand, reduction in those 3 items, and that's where New Zealand is at the moment. I think we're just coming up to 1,000, just under 1,000.
As long as this is adhered to. The President has said we're in for a painful 2 weeks in the United States, and I fully agree with him. Now, Rodney Brown, I believe, is a preacher of some sort in Florida, I think, and I'm pleased to see he's been arrested for holding mass meetings where spread would be potentially taking place, ignoring the law. It's so disappointing that this happens. You've got Christian groups like Samaritan Purse doing great work building this facility in Central Park, and you've got people like this who are potentially killing people through still holding mass meetings. So glad to see he seems to have been arrested anyway. It's not just Rodney, there's other people in other parts of the state still holding religious meetings. Do not hold mass religious meetings. We are in lockdown and social isolation. That's what we need to be doing. Now, Italy, confirmed cases going up, deaths going up. There's probably a slight levelling out now. We're in the fourth week of lockdown in Italy now. It's been extended to the 13th of April.
So we finished the 7th, well, this is the 8th day here. So they're talking the 4th week, and they're looking at extending it to get on top of it. And New Zealand has a couple of differences from the United States. One, we don't have the federal system where we have the diversity of big cities and small towns, but in the United States, it's had a longer time to spread. Plus, it had a lot of people that were coming in from Italy and overseas to the United Nations, New York, and a huge buzz with internal travel. So New Zealand is the model, if you like, and unfortunately, it's a little bit more fragmented in the United States. Italy's fragmented as well. You have the northern part which has it and the southern part that's shut down. So that's one of the things that's good about New Zealand, is we don't have that fragmentation as these other countries, and we have adopted early and well with regards to that. So we're into our first week, and we may find that we don't have to extend it. 4 weeks may be enough for us to tramp down.
But the number of new cases is going down. The lockdown works is just such a frustrating lag. As we've said before, it's in the 4th week, but that was because it happened late. If we're proactive rather than reactive, it makes things much easier in the long run. But there was community transmission in Italy before the lockdown, which is why things are taking so long. Now, the United Kingdom, we've had 25,000 cases confirmed. Despite the fact that testing in my country is a joke, we're not testing anywhere near enough. Friends who are nurses and doctors can't get tested. They're off work, but they can't get tested. This is just ridiculous. Someone needs to get this sorted out. The government are aware of it, the government have admitted it, and I'm really hopeful they are going to sort it out. Quite why there's so little testing in my country, I'm not really sure. Chemical companies have said reagents can be there. I really don't know what's going on, but let's hope it's fixed soon. And remember, we need the antibody test as well as the antigen test. Let's get them both rocking and rolling as soon as we can, please, authorities in the United Kingdom. Deaths are going up. This number, this daily increase in the last 24 hours, an extra 393 deaths, this will increase over the next week. It will increase. Hospital admissions have increased since yesterday and will go on increasing for.
That's the interesting thing about this virus, is that the actual deaths are a statistic which we cater for counting the number in hospitals and people that pass away, and so it's about extending out beyond what is community transmission, what is the infection rate, and that's why this testing, it's like flying blind or listening to the radio deaf, and that's why this guy's so frustrated.
The next few days to the next week or so. But hopefully the lockdown will start reducing the number of cases, then there'll be a reduction in the number of hospital admissions, then there'll be a reduction in the number of deaths. But for now they are going to go on increasing.
So we'll just leave it at that stage. New Zealand is in a similar situation, and we've done the lockdown, and so we're going to just quietly tiptoe through. We've had one death, and like he said, we've got to find out if there's community transmission. So, you know, we had the run. What did they have? The half marathon in Auckland. You know, that could have been cancelled, and we may find that in that run, it just tipped the balance. So, you know, every death that comes from that run, you actually are going to find people who regret it.
It's just so upsetting. 13-year-old boy died in London. Apparently he had a cardiac arrest after being infected with COVID-19.
So they reckon there's ACE receptors in the lungs, but there's also on the heart. And someone was saying the other day that it actually heads for the gonads as well. So I'm not sure if that's a conspiracy theory of Alex Jones's, but it's something that if it causes infertility, that just sharpens things up. So yeah, 90% may, 100% may get it. 2% may die, but if 50% of the population or the 100% of the males become infertile from it, that's going to have a huge implication.
Well, youngest case in the UK. As far as we know, is fit and well. The family may choose to release his medical background. It would be useful to know.
Okay, so that's our video for today.